What's going on, everybody? My name is Darcie and you're watching Darcizzle Offshore, and today I have a very special treat for you. I'm going to be filleting a cobia, a how to fillet cobia video for y'all, and I'm going to be using a brand new knife I just received, which is a 110 volt corded electric fillet knife from Bubba. Really excited. Let's get our cobia out of the cooler. And I got my 165 quart grizzly cooler, keeping them nice and cold. Let's get them out of here. We were wreck fishing the other day. We did really well. Got our limit of cobia. So we kept them on ice and nice and chilled. So that's a really nice fish. They're migrating through the area at this time of the year. So it's always good to go out there and catch them. So dealing with this large fish, what I'm first going to do is I'm going to remove his head. And let me just spray him down with some hose really quick. But cobia, they are a very, they're an awesome all-around fish. They're great for baking, they're great for grilling, they're great for searing, they're great for boiling. You can do a lot of things with cobia. It's just a great all-around purpose fish, great to eat, really nice white meat. Gonna use this knife for the first time. Never used an electric, just a heads up, but we're gonna see how this goes. I've filleted a lot of fish, just never used an electric. This pack in particular comes with 4 different blades you can use. So I ended up putting on the 9-inch blade that is not flexible. And the reason being is because cobia are very tough to fillet to begin with. They're not the best fish to work with. So I'm gonna go right behind his pectoral fin here, just as close as possible. Just make a cut. And we're gonna go down and towards the head. Right to the spine backbone. We're gonna break that bone. So that way his head is halfway cut off. Now, we're gonna flip him over. We're gonna do the same exact thing. Go close as possible to the pectoral fin, and you're gonna go down and towards the head, so you get all the meat towards the head. Here we go. It's got one more section. We just cut that bone, no problem. That was really easy. Let's see how you can get in there. All right, we just pulled off that cobia's head. You see I got all that meat when we made that cross cut right towards his head there, and it's gonna make him much easier to work with. So he's going into my bucket with my other cobia. Okay, now the next step is, I'm gonna just drop the electric for a second. I'm gonna pick up this Bubba blade, which is a 6-inch Whiffy. This is a little trick too that I learned from a professional commercial fisherman captain who's been doing this for many years, and this is a great trick. Hopefully you guys learned something, but basically this is called the vent right before the anal fin, also known as the anal hole, I guess. So make a cut like that, just right around it. I'm gonna leave it put. Now we're gonna go here to the body cavity, and we're gonna get rid of these innards. And I'm not gonna use the electric just yet. I'm just basically gonna break the membranes in here with my knife. So I can go ahead and just pull out this cavity. Let me flip it this way. Sorry. There we go. Okay. And then I'm just gonna reach in there, I'm gonna pull them out. And it should just come right out because I made that hole at the anal vent. And there we go. There is the stomach, the guts, everything that's the gross stuff that you don't want to eat. So now that we cleared that out, oh, look at this. We got a female. And the reason why I know this is because I see roe in here. So I'm just gonna be very careful and try to break these membranes and get it out. But roe in a female is where caviar comes from. Let me just get it out. And you can see, I kind of broke the sack right there, but beautiful set of fish roe. And a lot of people like to eat these. I've honestly never ate fish roe before, but that's a beautiful set. A lot of people love them, like I said. Yeah, I got it all out. And when you kill a egg-bearing female and you take her out of, laying these eggs and creating more fish for us, you might as well put it to good use. So you could use it as bait. But I think we're gonna go ahead and eat this and do a catch and cook with some cobia roe. So I'm gonna put this back on ice. So now let's clean the cavity out. I'm gonna get rid of all those guts, all the blood, everything we don't want. Now we got a nice workable fish to work with. All right, my cobia is all cleaned out, ready to go. Now it's time to fillet this fish with the electric knife. So I'm gonna flip her over this way. And if you didn't already know, I am left-handed, so this might look awkward to you guys. Now that the head is removed, it's really easy to work with because the head would make it all awkward and just weird. So doing that is a really great trick, and I hope you guys use that back home or wherever you guys fish out of. So I'm just gonna make a cut right here along the backbone, and basically just a really shallow cut all the way along this fish here, and just make the initial cut to get this fillet off. But so far, I love this knife. Okay, made our first cut. Now we're just gonna basically just peel back this whole entire side of the fillet and just work on getting the rest of the meat off here. And you can actually feel those bones as you go across here. So you kind of just go at a 45-degree angle and follow the backbone. Now that I got through those backbones, there's basically a spine bone or a big backbone or whatever you like to call it that like really protrudes. It's really thick. So you're gonna wanna go around that with your knife. Now, a lot of fish, most fish always have pin bones right here in the front, so you're gonna wanna break those with your knife as well. And this knife so far is doing a great, great job of doing that. Separate all this belly meat here, get it off the side of the fillet. Okay, check that out. Look at that beautiful meat right there. That is some serious, beautiful, firm white meat. Cobia is delicious. So I am really excited to eat this fish. But you can see this electric knife is getting the job done. Like I said, cobia are a very tough fish to fillet. There's not one of the best ones to work with. So this knife is just really making it nice and smooth and an easy process for me. Now that we got it flipped over, it's now time to get in and skin this fish with the same blade. I could switch up my blade to something a little thinner, but you want to remove as much of the fillet as possible and just lay it over so you have like a 1/4 inch of meat left here on the tail. Probably gonna do a little more. So that way you have control over this when you go to skin it. Okay. So now that we have that, I could change my blade here, but again, cobia are very difficult, especially when it comes to the skinning process. It's my first time with the electric fillet knife, so let's see what happens. But I don't want to put on a thinner blade because it'd be more difficult to work with skinning a really thick, tough cobia. So now we're just gonna basically work it at a 45-degree angle. I'm gonna insert it right here, get it underneath the meat to the skin. And then we're just gonna work it all the way back, and hopefully I can do a good job doing this. Okay, we're getting there, we're getting there. So now I'm gonna just go back to my regular knife, and this is just gonna be much more controlled and easier to get the rest of these pin bones out. And cobia have bones like all the way to here. These are all bones. So we're just gonna cut this out nice and easy, kind of like cutting paper. And just getting that little piece of bone out and saving most of the meat. Flip it over, and there are some bloodline here still left. Most of it is on the actual skin still, but I'm just gonna make a cut and get rid of this because that it will be very fishy. I'm sure some people like to eat it, but majority of us don't. And I'm very lucky to catch a lot of fish and awesome species here in Florida, so I'd prefer not to. But now, so what I'm gonna do is just cut it into little sections here, just chunk it up. It's easier to work with, especially when you're cooking. And that is what is for dinner. Now what I'm gonna do is, you don't wanna ever take your meat, especially for saltwater fish, and put it, like rinse it with fresh water. That's a big, big no-no. What you wanna do is have salt water with you and have some ice in it, and you're gonna wanna put it into there to clean the fillets. And then when you go to actually eat your fillets, that's when you would rinse them off with fresh water. Reason being is because it has something to do with osmosis, and it just actually will spoil the meat, and the meat cells, the cells in the meat will actually expand with fresh water, and it'll ruin the taste of the amazing fish. So this is always a good thing to do, and I brought salt water from out in the ocean. So we are all set, and those fish, we're gonna clean them off in the water and then put them in bags, and they're gonna be all set, ready to go. I'm gonna do the same exact thing on the other side of this cobia, and remove the rest of the meat for us to eat for dinner. But I hope you guys learned a trick or two on this video. It was really cool using this brand new 110 volt corded electric knife from Bubba. Super stoked. I'm really looking forward to getting to using it more, because I just showed you guys, first time ever using an electric for ever, like period, in my whole life. And you saw I got the job done, no problem. So thank you so much for watching this video. All the products I use, and especially the ones in this video, are gonna be listed in the description below, and you can also check it out on my Amazon store. So until my next how-to fillet video, follow your dream and keep on catching.